I bought my first stock when I was 13 years old, but that involved a painful process of convincing my parents to open a custodial account and using clunky, outdated financial tools. Flash forward 10 years, and we've now got some amazing financial tools like Bloom that allow parents and teenagers to not only learn those important financial principles, but allow you as a teenager to easily invest real money into real stocks, which I think we can all agree is pretty awesome. All right, let's jump right into it. What is going on, everyone? I hope you are all having a fantastic day. So, I frequently talk about how frustrating it can be for teenagers who are trying to get a jump start on their financial journey, because in most cases, as a minor here in the US, and most of the world for that matter, you can't open a credit card, bank account, investing account, or anything like that on your own. And while some larger companies have launched clunky tools that can be used by teenagers, Bloom is specifically focused on investing for teenagers, which I absolutely love. So today we're going to walk through what this platform is, how it works, why their mission is so important in my opinion, and I'll even take you inside the beta app of Bloom and show you how to get started with using Bloom and investing in your very first stock as a teenager or as a parent with a teenager. Two quick things before we get into all of that. Number one, Bloom is sponsoring this video. However, they are not telling me what to say or what not to say. So as always, this is going to be a fully open and honest review. And number two, Bloom was actually in a pre-launch phase up until very recently, and we're actually looking at the beta version of the app in today's video. But great news, they actually just announced that they have launched the full version of the Bloom app. So there is a link down in the description below if you do want to sign up, but let's take a look at this awesome new financial tool. So right now you're looking at the beta version of the app, but once the final version does go live, it will probably look very similar to this. So when you launch the app for the first time, obviously they're going to ask you to create an account. So you're just going to input some basic information like your name, phone number, and date of birth. And you can see that in this case, because I am personally over the age of 18, it's asking if I'd like to go to the parent app, which parents, you absolutely can and should do that. But in my case, I want to continue showing you how to set up the teen account. So you can see that as soon as we get to the next screen, it's going to ask us to invite a parent. And once you do that, they'll get a text message that is telling them to set up their account. And once all of that is taken care of, which really only takes a matter of minutes, you'll be brought to the home screen of the Bloom app and are ready to invest in your first stock. Now, before we do that, the first menu I actually want to show you that is by far the most important in my opinion would actually be the learning menu, which is the third option over from the left at the bottom of the screen here. And within this menu, they're going to have a ton of educational resources and even quizzes that you can take in order to better understand some really important financial lessons that will definitely set you on the right path before you start investing and risking your own real money. So as you can see, there are lots of different quizzes and educational resources to choose from. And again, I would highly recommend that you go through some, if not all of these, before you start investing your real money. And I think that I fell into the trap as a teenager of just thinking that this seems super exciting and it's going to be so easy to just throw money at a company and make money from it. And yeah, you absolutely could do that, but you might be unhappy with the result in the long term. So it's really important to understand what you are doing, but also why you are making those investing decisions. So if we click on the Why Invest in Stocks quiz and select Start Module, again, it's going to walk us through a great lesson on this topic that is basically set up similar to an Instagram story, meaning it's very familiar to a younger audience. And at the end, there's going to be a really simple quiz, and then you can move on to the next lesson if you want to. So I understand that from a teen's perspective, that might not be the most exciting thing in the world, but trust me, it is so important and will be well worth it in the long term. And obviously, if you're a parent watching this video, then you probably agree that having that foundational information and knowledge on a particular topic is really important before we go throwing money at different companies. Next, under the Discovery tab, you can look at the many different investments that are available through Bloom, including the most popular on Bloom, as well as breakdowns by different industries or types of investments. For example, you all know that I love ETFs, which is an exchange traded fund. So if you click on the ETF menu, it's going to bring up a long list of all of the different investments that you can purchase through the Bloom app, which I think is really cool. And this list is a lot longer than I thought it would be. If we click on one of these companies or ETFs, which in our case, let's just click on Tesla, not only are you going to see a chart and percentage change for various time periods benefits in the middle of the screen here. But if we scroll down, you're also going to see a simple breakdown of how risky this particular stock is according to Bloom, as well as an awesome feature called Time Machine that basically shows you how much your investment would be worth today had you invested X amount of dollars into this company 3 months ago, a year ago, or 5 years ago. Now, I love Time Machine, and this is definitely a feature that I think I will have a lot of fun playing around with, and it does show you the power of investing early. But I do want to point out that when it comes to investing, hindsight, or looking backwards, is always going to be 2020, meaning it is super easy to look back and say, oh, I wish I had just invested here, or if I had invested there, I'd have this much money now. And again, that can be fun to play around with, but chances are that you wouldn't have bought at the lowest point and sold at the highest point. So again, play around with it, have some fun, but it's better to spend your time working on your skills and building that foundational knowledge so that you can make better investing decisions going forward. All of that being said, Time Machine is pretty cool, and I haven't seen any other apps that have something like this, so definitely something that I will be playing around with a lot. Scrolling down a little bit further, you've also got some recent news articles related to this particular stock, which again in this case is Tesla, and below that you're going to see the key statistics like market cap, gross profit, trading volume, and if you click on this little information button, it's also going to give you a short definition of what that particular metric actually is. So if we click on market cap, for example, you can see that at the bottom of the screen, it tells us that this is the total value of all of the company's shares. Scrolling down a little bit further, you've got an about section for Tesla with employment information and some other data. And then lastly, all the way at the bottom of the screen, it has related stocks that you can also invest in. You can even follow this stock by clicking the black follow button, or if you're ready to invest, you can click the buy button as well. Now again, in today's demo, I am showing you the app from a teen's perspective, and this is a brand new account. So you can see that it is asking me to remind my parent to set up their account. But once my parent takes care of that, I can then link a bank account to get this account funded, and you are then ready to get started investing in what's called fractional shares, which is the last major feature that I love about the Bloom platform. Without boring you to death, basically a fractional share is exactly what it sounds like. It's a smaller fractional piece of an otherwise sometimes expensive stock. So let's just say, for the sake of simplicity, that the stock that you want to buy might be $1,000. Well, as a teenager, you might not have $1,000 to put into one stock. I know I definitely didn't when I was 13. So instead, Bloom offers fractional shares and allows you to get started with as little as $1, meaning instead of spending $1,000 to own that one stock, you could buy just $1 worth of that fractional share and still get all of the benefits of being a shareholder for that particular company. They also have a cool Discord community where you can connect with the creators of the platform and other users, plus all of the money in this account is SBIC insured up to $500,000. So parents and teens alike can rest assured that your money is safe and sound in this account. Hopping back into the app really quick, the last bonus feature that I want to show you is the Earn a Free Stock Quiz at the top of the screen here on the home screen, where you can actually click Start Quiz, and if you score an 8 out of 10 on this quiz, Bloom is actually going to give you $5 worth of a stock of your choice, which is a great place to get started. Alright, so after playing around with this app for a while and talking with the team over at Bloom, I have to say that this is truly the most excited that I have been about a new financial tool in a very long time. Not only is the mission and purpose of the Bloom platform fantastic, but the execution is impeccable in my opinion, and literally everything about this platform has been well thought out, gives teenagers access to simple and easy to understand educational resources that won't bore them to death, the ability to actually invest real money in a simple and easy to understand way, and also allows parents to keep an eye on everything, and even gives them the ability to lock out specific companies if they want to for whatever reason, while still allowing their teen to learn those important financial lessons on their own and actually have a stake in things by investing real money, even if it is just a few dollars. Plus, of course, the best part is that it's completely free, so honestly, this platform is kind of a no-brainer in my opinion if you are a teenager or you have a teenager who is looking to get started with their financial journey. Again, as someone who has used the many crappy, outdated custodial accounts of the past, Bloom blows those platforms out of the water, and I definitely wish that this platform was around when I was a teenager getting started with my investing journey. And again, Bloom just launched with the full version of this app, which is fantastic news because up until recently, they were in a pre-launch phase. So if you want to get started with using Bloom today, then be sure to use that link down in the description below where you can download the newly released full version of the Bloom app. I I, of course, want to say a huge thank you to Bloom for filling what was a huge void in the financial space and for supporting my content. I seriously do appreciate that so much. And of course, if you did get value out of this content and you want to help support me, the easiest way to do that is by checking out Bloom's website, downloading the platform, and showing them some love, and letting me know what you think of Bloom down in the comment section below. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this in the future. And of course, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it so much. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.